Here with the programming.
I'm Captain America.
It's just me today. Bill is traveling, but the Northern California Classic events just dropped. So since the event is happening tomorrow, I figured I would talk about them. Hiller just posted a video on his channel that is dubbed the weirdest competition in CrossFit, which he is not wrong. He is not wrong. So bear with me. It's just me. I know you guys love Bill. I love Bill too. But we're going to go through these events. It is, I don't know, what view do you guys like better? Obviously not that one. Maybe this one, since it's just me. It's just me. Okay, we're just going to jump right in this. So the Northern California Classic is notorious. Oh, that's not going to work. Notorious for creating weird workouts. Much to my dismay and dislike, is they have a knack for it. But, you know, we'll just go with that. That's way better. All right. The good thing is they start off well. So it's a 3-day event. It's going to be 7 events. What's up, everybody? Bill is getting ready to, I know, solo chase. Solo chase. Oh, thanks, Jen. Thanks for being a member. That's awesome. I appreciate that. And you guys can be a member. We can't promise anything but cool stickers. Renata, the workouts are dope. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But we're going to go through them. Got some questions, obviously. Bill is getting ready for broadcasting tomorrow, along with John Young. I believe. Brian, are you going to be there? I believe. I know, Heavy Isabel, for the for 1,000th time. Have you seen it? I'm not sure. Let's see, skin. Not sure like the events, but I like that the events were programmed. Well, that's fair. That's fair. The whole JY crew, all those guys, they are descending upon Sacramento, California. And the Savant podcast will be broadcasting for the 2nd weekend in a row, building up the Syndicate Crown, which I think they did a great job, especially for their first time. It's a massive undertaking. And this one's going to be bigger. This is going to be a bigger undertaking for them. They've got their work cut out for them. However, they have I couldn't think of a better crew to pull it off. So I'm excited to see what they bring to the table yet again for this event. But okay. So first event is Heavy as Bell. We've all seen it. Yeah, Bill is a stud. That's why I like to work with him. Yeah. All right. We don't need to go through those. Let's go through the second one. The second one is when it all starts to get fun. So let's go. Event number 2. Ring shuttle by Frog Grips. 30 ring muscle-ups for time. Every 3 minutes, including the 0 start. So 3, 2, 1, go. Athletes must do a suicide shuttle run. Shout out to using suicide shuttle runs. That's what they're called. And everybody needs to get tougher and realize that when we were all in elementary school and middle school and high school, and you played basketball or you went to gym class, is that they were called suicides. So I'm glad they put it in there. Just toughen up, everybody. That's not what it means. All right. Every 3 minutes, you must run a shuttle that is a 50, 75, 100 foot. So I'm assuming it's going to be 25 and back, 50 feet down and back, 75, 100. And from what I saw from Hiller's video is that on the return trip is you have to run backwards. Yes, Lido, they're running backwards. Now, here's the thing. Everybody take your knee-jerk reaction along with me and just take a breath, because we'll present what the programming is and then we'll analyze what it is later. So seeing it unfold versus seeing it on paper, I'm as guilty as knee-jerk reaction as anybody, obviously, if you guys know me at all. But let's wait and see, okay? So 30 ring muscles for time at 0, 50 foot down and back, forward on the way down, backwards on the way back, 75, 100, and then in the time remaining, as many muscle-ups as you can in that 3-minute time frame. Now, here's what I like about this. Shuttle runs are the shuttle runs, whatever. Forward, backwards. Nobody's used to running backwards. I don't really see that as overly gimmicky. There's a hero workout. I think it's Griff. No, isn't that Griff? It's someone. Someone will look it up. That has running forward and backwards, and that's the whole hero workout, right? So that's okay to have in there because it's not put in there in a sense of it being like a 400-meter backward run. That would be dumb. That would be gimmicky. This in a shuttle run sense, I'll wait and see how it turns out. Now, in the time remaining, you're going to do as many muscle-ups as you can. I don't know off the top of my head how long the shuttle runs are going to take. If it's 50 feet down and back, usually a 50-foot shuttle run like they have in the open or they have at quarterfinals or online semifinals is 25 feet down and back, and that takes 10 seconds. So double that, 20. I mean, you're not going to have a whole lot of time. It's still, 100, 200, 350 feet of total running. So they're basically doing 100 yards, a little bit more. So the length of a football field in a shuttle run in total. What I like about this is that we've seen so many of these interval events this semifinals. Some have put yes, Griff. Okay, so I was right. Griff. Thank you, guys. So some have put a end cap of what to get to, right? 2, 2, 2, 3 interval, 1 minute rest in between, get as far as you can, and then reset and then start over. Some, which is lazy, have just said, get as many reps as you can. And they've done that with heavy double unders. They've done that with other movements. So what I've liked that I've seen so far, especially last weekend, we had 2 of these where Syndicate Crown had a cap of overhead walking lunge distance, and Torium Pro had a cap of 50 burpee box jump overs. So that's good. The thing I like about this is that it's a twist on that. It's still interval based, but it's not, there's no rest. So it's a lot like that Cal-Su format, which they programmed a Cal-Su event last year here at the Northern California Classic. And you guys know anything about them? They do weird stuff here. That's their MO. That's their thing. It's Blair Morrison and Ben Alderman, who are great guys, OGs in the space, and they've been around a long time. And what they tend to like to do is challenge the status quo on traditional CrossFit programming when it comes to competing. I mean, Blair started his, I think it's called Anywhere CrossFit, and it used to be Anywhere Fitness prior to that. It's like that dude pioneered like working out outside in random places, parks, under bridges, all that kind of stuff. So like this is a bit in their DNA. So once you get to 30 ring muscle ups, then it's for time. I like this because it's unique. It's an every minute on the minute format, and there's no rest. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. What's up, Han? Weird stuff can be fun. Yes, Mark. Weird stuff can be fun. So that's event 2. Event number 3. Now this is where, now here's the thing. I've seen 2 different versions of what it is. Because if you go to Competition Corner, which is where I'm pulling all of this, is that it says 100-foot truck pull for time. But I've also seen a version of a 100-foot gator push for time with maybe tossing some D-balls in the back. So what it could possibly be, option 1 is what they have written here, right? And they don't, athletes start at the starting mat, Stow and Go. Athlete will put D-balls into the truck anyway. Once all the D-balls are loaded into the truck, the athlete will push the truck all the way over the finish line. Okay, pretty standard. I've seen a version where it's a push. So is it what they have on Competition Corner or what it's been somewhere else? I think Andrew Hiller's video had it as his writing was as a push. I've seen gator push. Oh, it says push? See, this is why it's nice to have Spin here. Spin, are you working? Just come on the show with me. All right, well, it says truck pull here and then load in the truck, and the athletes will push the truck. Great. This is an Andrew Hiller special. You have a truck pull written here, and then you have a push written here. So I've seen push more than I programmed pull. I'm assuming it's a pull. Or sorry, a push. So the events just post on Instagram, say push. Thank you, Lido. Thank you. Let's see. Let me double check with that. Now this is a wait and see event for me because, this could turn out cool and this could be a total flop. Yeah, you're right. Instagram does say D-ball load into the truck. I like these graphics better anyways. I'll do this. I'll keep it here. Okay, so it's a push. Now, right, truck, gator. Right, I've seen 1,000 different ways this thing has been written. We'll wait and see what this turns out to be. My questions are, and this is why we have to wait and see, is what is the D-ball weights? How is that going to affect the start? Is that going to have any place in the event itself, or is it just something that is a worthless addition to the programming? Or is it something that is a valuable asset, right? Are they heavy enough that you will be slow, and then you can distance yourself on the D-ball and then have an opportunity to distance yourself on the truck? Is this something you can move fast with momentum, or is this more like God, what are those sleds they were so obsessed with like 2 or 3 years ago at semifinals? Oh, I can't remember what they were. We have Spin on, so he's here. Those sleds that as soon as you start, there's absolutely no way to distance from anybody. So we'll see. Also, is there someone in the truck? Right? Are they steering? Oh, yes, torque tanks. Thank you, Mark. Torque tanks. Yeah. Torque tanks. Is someone steering this truck or this gator? All right. Are you at the mercy of this person driving straight? Is it going to be the same person all day? Or are the first 50 heats of 100 going to be a 120-pound person? Or the last 50 heats, since they have to switch it out, is it going to be a 200-pound person? That is going to have a massive effect on the push. So there's some uniformity concerns here that I'm just bringing up. Athletes are required to steer the truck. I hope is that real? Let's see. Let's see if that is. Athletes start on the mat, go, D-ball cleared with hatch to the finish line, movement standards, vehicle push. The rep begins, vehicle touching, designated rep ends the credited back of the vehicle across the finish line during the movement. Athlete may push the vehicle in any fashion. The athlete and vehicle must remain in the lane at all times. The athlete, oh shoot, you're right. The athlete is responsible for keeping the vehicle in their lane. All right. Well, okay. We'll see. We'll see. Thank you, Spin. Thank you, Spin. So, okay. Again, I have concerns, but, the track record of a weird event gone haywire is not good here, a.k.a. the bucket hold. All right, event 4, Pumphouse. 1.5K bike erg, 45 heavy double unders, 30 reverse lunge wall ball shots, 20 and 14. I'm assuming, I don't want to assume the height. I can just figure it out. Let's see. Pumphouse, elite male. Let's go to elite female. Okay. Share this tab. Women 2014 standards. C2 bike, wall ball shot, muscle up, bar muscle up, pull over. Okay, they don't have the height in here. Of course. Why would you? All right. Let's just go back to this. All right, so a couple things jump off the page. Reverse lunge wall ball shots. Now, the first reaction is, what is this? And I get it, right? I get it. That being said, if we're talking about judging standards, it's way easier to judge than a wall ball shot. Because for a wall ball shot, you have to make sure they get their hip crease below the top of the knee and then watch it hit the target. For this, just if their knee touches the ground and they throw the ball up, fine. Now, I don't know what other things are going to come into play, right? And I guess that can come with the movement standards is, do their feet have to be together as it starts? So let's take a look at this. Reverse. The rep begins with athletes holding the med ball in front of the body, above the chest. Oh, why would you say that? While standing tall, the rep ends and is credited when the center of the ball makes contact with the target, at or above the specific target line. During the movement, the athlete performs a reverse lunge, holding the wall ball. One knee must touch the floor. Athlete must alternate legs. Good luck controlling that under speed if you get a no rep. Legs can only be alternated after every successful rep, obviously. In case of no rep, the athlete must repeat the movement on the same leg. If the ball hits under the face of the target, it's a no rep. When the ball drops on the ground, the ball must settle on the ground before the next rep. So you can't bounce, you can't Mursky the med balls. And taking the ball from the rebound bounce next rep. Okay, all right. That's exactly what I just said. All right. Now, the exciting part is not just that. It's this little guy in the middle. 15 bar muscle up pullovers. So you'll do a bar muscle up, and then you'll drop down and do a bar pullover. Now that timing is good. Yeah, Bill, twofers. Bill really Bill's 2-for-1 wall ball shots is my Turkish getup. We both want it, but we know it'll never happen. Okay, bar muscle up pullover. I don't hate this. I'm curious to see how this goes. I'm curious that if you fail a pullover, if they'll make you do the whole rep over again. So let's see. Hanging from the bar, rep ends and is credited when the athlete is in support position above the bar, elbows locked out, obviously for the bar muscle up. During the movement, athlete must pass through some portion of a dip. Kipping is allowed, however, pullovers roll to support. Okay, that's bar muscle. Pullover. The rep begins with the athlete hanging from the bar, so you would hang if you dropped off the bolt. Not drop, but you dropped from the top. The athlete is in the support position above the bar, elbows clearly locked. Yeah, it's just like a reverse bar muscle up. Athlete lifts his feet around the bar, extends the arms. Now, I don't know what happens if you get a no rep on the pullover. Do you have to do the whole complex over again? I would assume so. I would hope so. Okay. Now, Bill and I will obviously talk about this when we analyze the programming. The 1.5K biker in 45 double unders to start is, I think that's long. And Matt Burns, Chase, why aren't you announcing with Bill? I'm going on my second family vacation in 2 weekends. So last weekend, the reason why I wasn't at Syndicate Crown was I was in San Antonio with my brother and his kids and saw my parents. And this weekend, I'm going to Florida with my wife's sister and her family for the next week. So I've missed both weekends to be a part of it because of family vacations, which is great. You know, my kids get to go to the beach. They're excited. I'm excited too, but it's going to be interesting. This buy-in, the 45 heavy double unders, I mean, why is this even in here? Right? This is where the workout starts. It's only 30. So this would be a sprint start, but with the 1K out and in, I'm fine with being on the way out. This is going to be terrible. Like this 1.5K bike at the end is going to be awful, which it'll be interesting to watch. It's going to take over 2 minutes to get there. So there'll be a lot of people staring at a bike, waiting for people to finish. We're in Florida. Watercolor? Yeah, Angelo, I am alone. Bill's traveling, so it's just me, last minute. What are you doing? You come on here with me. You can swear. We usually don't, but we'll see about this. But the buy-in, I don't know. It's too much. I hate monostructural buy-ins. We said it with JR's programming. So I'm just being consistent. But we'll see. So, all right. Event 5. No, that's not event 5. What is this? Elite individual events. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Farmnastics. 50 overhead squats at 95 and 65. 250-foot double kettlebell farmer carry with basically 70s and 53s. Oh, well, I don't know what you're doing, Angelo. All right. Angelo talks a big game, but I'm about to invite him, so we'll see. Copy invite link. Here we go. It would get fun to have Angelo on because he helped with the programming. So I'll go back to this one just in case you do it. Don't like the buy-in and cash out. I don't mind the cash out. I know Bill doesn't like that. But the buy-in, monostructural buy-ins, is incentive for no one. It's like, oh, it's going to pre-fatigue the legs before the lunges. Like, nobody's going to do it. Nobody's going to sprint the bike because it's going to destroy, it's going to ruin the rest of their event. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. But again, on the reverse lunge wall ball shots, we'll see how that goes out. I think it's going to be easier to judge. I don't think it is as crazy as it's written on paper. And then the bar muscle up pullover, that's a fine combo. That's no different than the wall walk, wall facing handstand push-up complex. So I'm fine with that. And NCCs is notorious for this. They did a massive gymnastics complex event last year. And I think it had pullovers, it had bar muscle ups, it had like these rollovers forward and backwards. It was crazy. And some people rocked it. And that's just what they do, is they push the envelope. Now, the 45 heavy double unders here and there, like if it's just for numbers, like I like the numbers, obviously. 1.5, 45, 30, 15. I like all that, but it just seems very low to me. I'd rather have less bike and more heavy double unders. Like if you really want to affect the wall ball shots, like make that bike a 1K. A 1K bike is like a 500 meter row. And even then, no one's going to sprint the 500 meter row. No one's going to sprint the 1,000 meter bike. And the longer you make it, the less incentive people have to go hard. So we'll see. I'm surprised you showed up. What's up, dude?
What up? Why are you surprised?
I don't know. I figured you were just gosh, I don't have a. Have you ever been on here before?
No.
All right, so this is your first one.
I need someone to pull my phone up on my laptop.
Yeah, that's probably why I don't have a button for you. Oh, I got one for you. There you go.
This is blasphemous.
That's great.
All right. I'm on the I dragged out for you for event 4.
Yeah, I was listening.
Yeah. So you guys tested these or workshop these?
I didn't test any of these.
Okay.
They did. I didn't.
Yeah. I was saying earlier, it's like, I'd rather be less on the bike and more on the heavy double unders, and then I think everything's okay. If not, even add more on the wall ball shots. But in a previewing setting, like what this is like, I'm not analyzing really.
Yeah.
We're just like showcasing what's coming up, putting out questions of what we'll watch for, because we'll never analyze fully. Sometimes we fall into that trap prior to it going on person, because look, this might turn out to be perfect.
Yeah.
Once we see everybody take it, these are just the questions I'm asking beforehand, so we'll get the answers once the event goes. But I like the bar muscle up pullover. I'm not a big pullover guy, but as far as a complex is concerned, it's unique. It's new. We'll put it in there, see how it goes.
I don't mind it at all.
No. And then the cash on the bike blows. That just sucks for everybody.
It sucks for the athletes for sure, and it's a little boring for the spectators. But it does. I mean, within the athletes, the athletes create the race, I guess. Like being able to watch like what they're going through. If someone's really like grinding and they're like holding a 130 for like the last full minute or something, like that's cool. So like you're right though. The athletes make the race. So like it can be boring and a horrible thing to watch, or it can be great.
It could be, and we've seen that in the past. It's been the Rogue Invitational, and I had a issue for it.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh, we programmed heavy grace."
Yeah,
I was like, "That is so boring." But we had good races. So the pushback I actually got from Josh Bridges, because he watched the show and texted me immediately. Like, it was a great race. I'm like, that doesn't mean it's a great event.
Yeah, true.
Right? Like, yeah, of course we got a great race, but like, a 200 meter dash can be a great race too. It doesn't mean you see it. So we'll see how this shakes out. I hope. I know this is a tall ask, obviously, because we're dealing with events that are doing this for the community.
Yeah.
Right. Like, let's keep that in mind too. This is for the community. This isn't like just for the athletes. Like, hey, we'll step up and save your season.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
I think a lot of the good. I think this will be a really cool event. They mentioned. I think they said it in the video even that like some people can like cruise through the bar muscle pullover like it's like nothing if you're
Right.
really good at gymnastics and stuff, and then if you're not, it can feel really foreign. And I saw I won't say who necessarily was testing, and not necessarily they weren't bad per se, but there
Yeah.
was one person in testing at when they announced it. They announced they had Taylor do it at Syndicate. There were a couple athletes at the gym. One person did it, and it was like flawless. Another person did it, and it was like, it's a little iffy. And you're like, okay, there can be some huge separation there, which couldn't be cool.
Yeah. And I like that too. And I'm assuming like if you break the complex, you have to start over. Are they like counting this in twos?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I'd assume
I imagine bar muscle pullover is one rep. Like you can't come down between it, right?
So these are. It's funny. It's all these niche ones or not niche. We'll say unique for now. I'm excited to see because one, you don't really see these things very often. Two, however I feel about them initially, I'm excited to see like if my usual wrong knee-jerk reaction is the right one. But statistically, it's not. All right, let's move to the thing. Thanks for being here, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just shaking in the wind. I don't know how Savant is like a 3-hour show.
Oh, I know.
That blows my mind. All right, event 5, Farmnastics, 50 overhead squat, 250-foot kettlebell farmer carry. So like what, 70s and 53s, basically.
Yes.
And then 10 handstand walk pirouettes, and then a 250-meter farmer carry back. Now, to me, this is a very intense event.
Yeah,
but it's all pointing at the pirouettes. Now, I saw Hiller's video of what you were talking about of what a potential standard is for that, of like being a box and then walking in and out of that box.
Walking, yeah. Dude, I actually didn't watch that part today, but if I can remember correctly, it was like a decent sized box. Is that the?
There you go.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, then maybe let's see.
Athlete would kick up into a handstand behind the line of the box with both hands completely. Walk into the box, pass the line, do a pirouette, and then so in and out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was saying. I really like that. I like that movement in itself. Anyways, I kind of like that. I like how they're using it in this workout. Because I think there was, if I'm remembering correctly, there was they wanted a handstand walk, I think, but I think they wanted, maybe it's on a field and they were afraid of unevenness in the lanes. Man, I can't really remember, but this was a way to basically challenge a handstand walk, make a handstand walk challenging, and add some skill to it, and get a good amount of upside down volume. So actually, handstand pirouettes, you don't notice it, but like it adds a ton of volume to the time you're on your hands. The time under tension is huge.
On average, how many steps? Because like if people think about it in terms of like walking steps, how many? I guess it kind of depends on how good you are. Because some people could do it in 3 or 4.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
just put that hand over here and then move this one over there.
I'm probably like 4 or 5. I would have to guess.
I mean, 50 to, especially when you're getting tired, you're doing more.
Yeah, for sure.
More, and if you're doing more steps, that's more time under tension. Also, staying within the box, right? Like if you step out of that box, it's you got to start over.
Yeah, this I will say this is not the original event, and I know, knowing what I know now, I know why it's changed. But this is not the original event that we programmed when they were here. This has changed a little bit.
Okay.
Logistically wise, I believe. Programming wise through the whole weekend. Makes sense now.
A lot of
shoulders.
A lot of shoulders. I'm curious and spin, this is one of my first reactions to seeing the 50 overhead squats at these weights. The thing is like if it was say 25 or 30, I would have a small concern with the overhead squat weight, but since it's 50, like 50 overhead squats, everybody's going to either think they need to do it unbroken, so they're not going to go terribly fast, or they're going to break it up to save the shoulders. I'm almost curious if putting that 50 at the end But
Ooh.
it's all a big buy-in to the handstand pirouettes. Like this is just can
Yeah,
you
I
make
think
it?
I think if I was doing this, I think I'm breaking the overhead squats up just because I can maintain rep speed, drop the bar pretty quick, and have my squat speed a little quicker.
Yeah.
Therefore, one, I'm getting shoulder rest, and two, I'm never grinding, so I'm getting less time under tension on my shoulders. And then I would say that am relatively confident in my pirouettes, so I would rather go into those pirouettes maybe farther behind than I want to be, and try to make up time on the pirouettes.
Yeah.
But there are people who, no, I think that's probably the right call for most people.
Yeah.
Pace the overhead squats to a degree so you can do better on the pirouettes.
Well, okay, Spin. I do remember the masters over at squats. Those were 75 pounds at like 21:59, and there's
Oh
master
yeah,
athletes.
yeah.
Like on a good day, they're not getting below parallel. Yeah, you're right. And yeah, hopefully the judges hold them that. The easiest way to clean this up is just like no rep them in their first 5, even if it's a good rep.
Yes.
I would tell it to my judges all the time. If we had a iffy movement like a dumbbell thruster or something, I was like, listen, on the 3rd rep, I don't even care if it's good, just no rep them and just say, stand up all the way and lock your arms out. Just
Freak them out right off
yeah,
the get, and
right
then
off
you
the
won't
gate.
worry about it.
Shut that shit down immediately. It's funny as I did a workout today with my son, and I had 100-meter farmer carries
Yeah.
with 70s.
Okay.
So 100 meters is like 330 feet.
Yeah.
That wasn't the easiest.
Okay. Was it rounds of 100 meters?
Yeah, it was 400-meter run, 15 like elevated ring rows, 10 ring dips, and then the farmer carry.
Okay.
And it was just like not for time, running with my
Yeah.
kid. It was super fun. But on the turn at the halfway point, even though it's just 50 meters, I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, I'm not as good at these as I thought I was.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, I don't know how, like, I don't know how this workout ends up playing out. And like you said, that's not really what we're doing anyways. I
Yeah.
wonder how it affects the shoulders. I mean, farmers carries for sure affect your shoulders more than you think,
Yeah, for sure.
especially when they're mixed with other movements that are shoulder heavy. So I think it'll definitely be interesting for several people. Like, oh man, my grip is fine, but my shoulders are killing me.
Yeah. I'll be also curious with the order. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you have the 250 farmer carry at the end. I don't think that's going to be a problem because your grip is getting a little fatigued walking on your hands. I think people underestimate the impact
sure.
it is, but you're not really coming in really grippy. Maybe, I don't know. If you do your overhead squats wrong, that's going to mess with your grip too.
Yeah.
I think this could be sneaky grippy.
Yeah, I think
I think everybody's failing though the last 250. It's only 250 feet.
No, I really, really like handstand walk in a workout with a ton of grip. Not that this is that, but I really like that because it catches people off guard so much. And I really do think that's probably what the farmer's carry is. I think it's more of a little bit of catch you off guard with the shoulder and the grip fatigue a little bit. And there's something to be said about farmers carrying into handstand walk where you have spent time doing this and now you need to open your hands up. And if you already if you are it's super weird. It's like toes to bar in handstand walk where like you may have done this too at some point where like I'll trip over my finger because it'll start to curl up on me.
Well, that
And
old
I'm not
regional event where it was toes to bar, heavy kettlebell deadlifts, and handstand walks.
Yeah.
I'd go for a handstand walk and you get your pinky caught under your hand. You're like, I think this is broken. This is broken.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
screwed for the next
And
3
it
months.
doesn't take much grip fatigue to do that. It's just a little bit that just hooks that pinky a little and you'll catch it.
Well, I'm curious to see how this shakes out. I think the big sneaky part is the intensity that's going to be needed here.
Yeah.
It's that balance between, do I need to get to the pirouette box faster so that I have more time? Or do I need to get to the box fresher so I'm better at it?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that depends on a lot of the individual athlete's skill level. Like if you're really confident in the handstand pirouettes, you want to get there pretty quick, and then like or maybe you're like, hey, this was also something I think that they were thinking about. At least I was thinking about, like, what if the handstand pirouettes are so, I don't want to say, I guess, yeah, so easy for somebody that they can walk out of the box, walk back in, walk out of the box, walk back in,
Oh,
and
yeah.
do 2 or 3 reps in a row. Where you're like, hey, I'm gonna pace overhead squats. I know when I get there, I can do doubles for a while and catch up and then I can take off. So I don't know if that's an option for people.
There's a lot on here as simple as it reads.
Yes.
So I like that. All right. Next one. Okay.
this. Go ahead. What do you got?
The 2,000 meter row, 2 mile run. I am totally fine with this being an event. I think it's long, it's aerobic centric. We just did, even those overhead squats and farmer carries, like that is a very gymnastic centric event. Like you can either do that or you can't. And if you're good at it, you're going to be great. Obviously we have the bar muscle up complex in there. You know, that's fine. My question is, if it's 2 scores,
yes,
your time for the 2K and then your overall time for the event. Do you know if it's 50-50 or 100-100?
I don't know that. I want to say it's 100-100, but I don't know.
Okay. I pray on all that is holy in programming that it is not 100-100.
You're not alone.
If it's 100-100, that is the dumbest programming. This is dumber than what people think is dumb as far as step back lunges and I'd rather have a bucket hold than 2 100 scores for this event. Now, if it's 50-50, I'm totally fine with that because it's still a normal 1 scored event. And if people don't understand what I'm saying, it's like a 2K row is going to take less than 7 minutes.
Yes.
Especially if you have a 2 miler. Now, if the 2K row is for time, and then the total time of the event is your second time, not your time on the run. Right? I would have rather that been the case. Yeah. Also, why not just do Jerry?
Yeah.
Jerry's a mile run, 2K row, mile run. It's a hero workout and it's beautiful.
I want to, maybe that got brought up, man. I can't remember.
It's an awesome event. And I would love to see if somebody could have broken 20 minutes in that.
Yeah.
Because a sub 20 Jerry is like elite. I have a 20-minute, 3-second Jerry, and it is the most biggest, and I will never be able to get close to that again. I'm so angry.
What kind of paces do you have to hold to do that?
So you have to run. So say it's you have to run like 6:45s. Okay. So that's 12:30.
Yeah.
And then you have to row. No, you got to run 6. You got to run like 6-minute miles. No. I'm sorry. The row, if you can get under 7, because if you get under 7 2K row, that's a 145 pace. So then you have 13 minutes. So you have to be sub 6:30s on the miles and a sub 7-minute 2K.
Oh man.
Yeah. I think I got off the 2K and I was like, oh, I have to run a 6:20 mile. Shit.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. How about I'll pose this question to you. What if it's 50 points for the row and 100 points for the total event?
I think so here's the way I present it for other people, because sometimes endurance stuff people don't see it.
Yeah.
In heavy Isabel was your first 10 reps is 100 points and your total time for the workout is another 100 points.
I hate that.
That's the same thing.
Yeah. I hate that.
Hey, Angelo. All right. I'll make a deal. Your first 10 reps are only 50.
Yeah.
Then your total is 100. It's like,
you know why I hate that is because like for the same reason that like in the JY barbell challenge, like John Young would have won the first 10 had it been a score, because he could touch and go 10, and then he would have taken for sure dead last if he would have done 10 touch and go.
Right. Yeah. Or you get the first 10 and then you get mid pack. You've got 165 points total.
Yeah.
For doing 10 reps worth of hard work.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Of the same thing. Of the exact same thing.
Yeah. Hey, we might see someone row a 6:15. I highly, highly doubt it. I don't think anybody's capable of doing that in CrossFit personally. Maybe Roman.
Yeah, dude, Roman can row hard.
What they're not doing is a 2 mile run after a 6:15 2K. They're not even walking that. They're just gonna I get 0.
Yeah, no, they're gonna lay down. Yeah, that's all you can do.
So we'll see what the scoring system is. Since it hasn't started yet, Blair. All right. Please do not make this 100 points each. I'm the endurance guy. I would have loved to have this at regionals.
Yeah.
Loved it. That'd offset my shitty deadlift event.
I will say I do this event, however it's scored aside. I really like this event, and I really like it even more given the first event at the games now that this is going to be tested.
Right,
and it does this does, and honestly that plays a factor into whether how I feel about if it's 200-point scores, because I'm almost okay with this carrying a little more weight given that we know the first event at the games, because how important this is. If you get somebody at this point, they'll say it's 200 points for this event, you're going to get somebody who might skew towards being better at that.
Right.
And that's already something you need to be good at when you get there. So skewing that a little bit, knowing the games programming, then it's actually, we're taking everything into consideration, is not as bad if it's 200 points. But if it was up to me, I would have done 50 points for the row and then 100 points for the whole thing. That would be pretty cool. And I'm not saying they're not doing that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. Spin Sprague Rose is 606. God bless.
Oh man,
that
means Roman definitely can too.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. I even hate the 100-point. I hate more points for the same stuff. And like I said, I'm an endurance guy. So I hope it's 50-50, but we'll see. So I like the event. All right. And then this is the finale. Hero ball. That's funny. 5 legless rope climbs, 2 box jump overs. Is this a jump on and off or a total clear?
Do you have this? Do we have the standards? Because I think
asking this because I have the standards.
Because I think I know. I think I remember what we talked about, but I don't know if anything. Some things have changed.
All right, let me gosh, I'm talking too fast. All right, athlete jump on one side of the box. Athlete is on the other side of the box and 2 feet hit the ground. Box facing lateral jumps are okay. That's got to be feet may touch the box.
Okay.
What are the standards? Elite. They don't even have the box height on here.
Rich said in the video 30s for all.
Yeah, I heard Rich say 30 in the video. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I would have been more. It would have been way better if they're clear overs.
Yeah. I think
30-inch clear over for 2 is worth putting in here.
I want to say that I'm not saying this because I think I'm a master programmer because it's going to come off like that. But I think I said that and they were like, I don't know, this workout already with the legless rope climbs, and if you make it a 30-inch clear over, just skews to a tall guy. Like somebody who is taller can do better there, and I guess I can see that.
Okay, yes. But
when the tall guy is probably already relatively stronger too.
Yeah.
But they're squat cleans. That doesn't matter.
Right, they're squat cleans, so it's...
Yeah. I thought it was a clean, however.
Dude, that's heavy.
Oh, it's heavy.
I don't know what Scott was saying, how it's like, that's light.
Dude. And you and me know this. After watching all those guys fail 315 at TFX.
Yes.
I said this to JR this morning because he wasn't necessarily saying it wasn't heavy enough, but I was saying, dude, it's heavy enough. Trust me, it's heavy enough. Like, because these are the same reps, right? 5-3-1.
Yeah.
Or they did
4-3-2. 4-3-2.
With the box jumps, dude, your hip flexors and like your quads, like you are, even though it's not necessarily the box, even though it's not clear overs, even if they're 30-inch box jumps, they play a factor for sure.
It's only 2, bro.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm thinking of the clear overs still.
Clear overs would have an effect
for sure.
It's the landing impact.
Yeah.
One other thing too is what's going to affect the clean. The box overs aren't not going to have an effect. I also agree with that, but not to the extent. Like I think the legless rope climbs are going to have way more effect on the clean than the box.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
if you can't if your grip is gone, you can't clean.
And your grip and your pull, like your biceps and your back, like everything that you need, you're using.
Yeah.
You're using the main muscle groups on the rope climb and the box jump overs that you're going to need on squat cleans.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, it's plenty heavy. It is plenty heavy.
Plenty heavy. It's almost, again, we'll have to see people do it.
Yeah.
But it's the end of the weekend, so you're not fresh.
No.
Right?
It's the same thing as TFX, the finale. It's the same thing. Like, it's heavy. It's plenty heavy.
Everybody is like, oh, we'll just like power clean this whole thing and touch and go. I'm like, no, don't do that.
No, that does not work. We saw that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Event 7, day 3, end of the semifinal season. Not likely. But again, we'll wait till see what happens in person. But I'm curious. Obviously, this has been tested, so they know.
Yeah.
Is it like, say you're in the third, fourth heat, you're in the last heat, right? Although there might be one heat because I heard there's like 25 lanes. But
oh, yeah.
You realize it all comes down to that one clean, and then the race is over. You're just like, all right, how do I get here the easiest way?
Yeah.
I like having a way, because we already have heavy Isabel.
Yep.
We don't necessarily need something extremely heavy. And I'm curious to see if it was a little bit lighter where you had to just like race.
Yeah.
We'll see how 335 turns out.
I know. I'm really interested. I think I'm glad it is the weight that it is for many reasons. I'm glad it's not heavier. I'm certainly glad it's not lighter. Because
it might be the right perfect.
Yeah, it could be too light. Like, it easily could be too light. Like, one squad clean at 315 at the end would be too light and would start to be too similar to Heavy Isabel in my mind, where that's a
good point.
That's a heavy barbell cycling test. This is just a heavy test with gymnastics implemented into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I wish there was more box jump overs. I wish there was. I think it was supposed to be 3, or wanted to be 3 possibly. If it was 3 clears every time at 30 inches, this workout's totally different. I think I probably like it more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that would have been 15 total.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, we shall see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
That's really all I want to do. I wanted to hop on here and talk about the event since it's happening tomorrow. So, do you have to stay home? You working tomorrow?
Yeah, no, I'm working right now. I wanted to go, but I would have had to take today off and Sunday off, and it was too last minute. So
if you're working, are you at the firehouse?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
It looks like a little dorm room.
I mean, I am in my dorm room. Yeah.
Oh, you have dorm rooms. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how a firehouse works. Well, Angelo, I had like 50 people watching when it was just me, and now we have 175. So
nice.
The Angelo effect is real. Good luck to the LA athletes. I'm excited because it's everybody's last chance, save for the last chance qualifier. I don't know what Yahoo had any hand in that, but we'll see. But good luck to everybody competing. Guys, go to the Svan Podcast channel. That's where it'll all be broadcasted all weekend. Give them some love. Remember to $1.99 is the penance that you must pay. So
this is depends on the guests they have.
That's true. It's true.
Is this true?
It is true. It is true. So, my team, thanks for joining us, Angelo. Thanks for saving my ass today. You guys.
Yeah.